I'm perched in the corner of this sleek, glass-walled conference room in downtown Seattle, the kind with views of the Puget Sound that scream old money and power plays. My brother, Alex, is holding court at the head of the table, his tailored suit hugging his frame like armor, his wife Elena dabbing at his sleeve as if he's already the king of the hill. Mom's on his left, nodding along like she's at a sermon, and Aunt Lorraine's on his right, her diamond rings catching the fluorescent lights. The rest of the family, cousins, uncles, sit like dutiful subjects, hanging on his every word. Me? I'm Emily Hayes, the black sheep, the one who's always been shoved to the edge, literally and figuratively. If you've ever felt that slow burn of being overlooked while the golden child soaks up the glory, you know the knot twisting in my gut right now. But today, that knot's about to unravel in ways they can't imagine. It all started 5 years back when Grandpa William got the news, stage 4 pancreatic cancer, the kind that doesn't give you much time to tie up loose ends. Our family didn't pull together like in those Hallmark movies. No, we fractured. Because suddenly his empire was up for grabs, a dozen apartment complexes across King County, office spaces leased to tech startups, pulling in $50,000 a month in rent like clockwork. Grandpa had built it from scratch, starting with a rundown triplex in the 70s, fixing leaks with his own hands while Grandma balanced the books. Alex saw opportunity, a fat inheritance to pad his already cushy life as a hotshot real estate developer. I saw a man fading away, his story slipping through our fingers. Our family dynamic had always been crystal clear. Alex was the star, the Ivy League MBA, the corner office, the perfect nuclear family with Elena and their 2 kids in a McMansion in Bellevue. Mom bragged about him at her book club, calling him the one who made it. Me? I was the dreamer. The one who ditched law school to chase graphic design gigs, freelancing from my tiny apartment in Capitol Hill. At 34, Mom still introduced me as Emily, who's finding her path like I was a lost puppy. Alex made his intentions obvious early on. Over brunch at a trendy spot in Pike Place, just a month after Grandpa's diagnosis, he leaned in and said, when the time comes, someone's gotta steer this ship right. Someone with real estate chops. Not just pretty pictures. I bit my tongue. Arguing with Alex was like punching fog. It just reformed around you. Instead, I poured my energy into Grandpa, visiting his modest bungalow in Renton, the one holdout he never rented out. Those visits became my lifeline. We'd sit on his porch swing, him hooked to an oxygen tank, me sketching the neighborhood as he spun yarns about his empire. Started with nothing but grit and a toolbox, he'd rasp, eyes distant. Learned electrical from trial and error, shocked myself more times than I can count. One rainy afternoon, about 8 months in, he fixed me with that piercing stare. Alex dropped by yesterday, talked my ear off about REITs and depreciation schedules. Didn't once ask about the chemo side effects. I felt a chill, even under the blanket I draped over him. What did he ask? Grandpa's laugh was a wheeze. If I'd revised my trust lately. Kid's got $signs where his heart should be. He grabbed my hand, veins like rivers under paper-thin skin. I see it all clear now. Alex wants the cash flow. You ask about old Mr. Patel in Unit 3C. How his grandkids are doing. You remember the Ramirez family's lease renewal and their kids' graduation. You see the lives in those walls, not just the ledgers. That conversation cracked something open. Grandpa didn't just vent, he acted. Over the next few weeks, he walked me through every property keys, quirks, tenant stories. This boiler's from '85, budget 20 grand for a swap soon, he'd say, pointing with a trembling finger. MS. Thompson and 5B widow. Fixed income. Give her leeway if she's late, She's good people. I absorbed it all. Notebooks filling with details. My phone buzzing with photos of leaky faucets and aging roofs. The family thought I was just the sentimental one, wasting time with a dying old man. They didn't know I was being schooled in the art of quiet stewardship. Then, one stormy night, Grandpa slid a stack of papers across his kitchen table. "I'm deeding it all to you. The whole kit and caboodle, lock, stock, and barrel." My heart hammered. "Grandpa, the family will riot." "Alex will," he cut me off. Eyes fierce. "The family will show their true colors. Like they always do. But legally, it's ironclad." My attorney, Harold Ellis, handled it discreetly. "Trusts updated. Titles transferred to your LLC." Why me? Because I saw the human cost. The fragility behind the rent checks. I signed. My signature wobbly. But the ink dried fast. The rent started flowing into my account, $50K monthly, and I kept mum, letting the illusion linger. It was my shield. My test of their loyalty without the lure of money. Grandpa passed on a crisp autumn morning, slipping away in his sleep with me by his side. His final whisper, "You've got this, kid. Build on it." The funeral was a farce. Alex's eulogy droned on about visionary investments. Mom wailed for the cameras. Aunt Lorraine nitpicked the catering. I stayed silent in the back pew. A week later, Alex summoned the clan to Ellis's office in a high-rise overlooking Elliott Bay. He arrived like a conqueror, briefcase in hand, Elena trailing perfume and pearls. Mom fussed over him. Aunt Lorraine and Uncle Ted whispered about fair shares. I showed up in jeans and a hoodie, clutching my coffee like a talisman. Ellis's room was all chrome and intimidation, but Alex commandeered it immediately. "Thanks for coming, folks," he boomed, as if it were his show. Grandpa's legacy needs safeguarding, properties primed for growth. But they require expert hands. He ignored Ellis's subtle cough and plowed ahead. "I've crunched the numbers. Bump rents 15%. Trim upkeep. Net could hit $500,000 annually. I'll oversee it all. Distribute fair cuts. Mom $25K yearly. Aunt Lorraine $18K. Even Em gets $12K if she shapes up." The arrogance hit me like a wave. But I held back, watching the betrayal unfold in real time. Elena beamed. Mom cooed. Alex has always been the steady one. He slid a contract toward Ellis. "Paperwork's ready. Transfer to my name. Equitable splits." That's when the tension I'd bottled for years started to fizz. Ellis finally spoke. Voice like gravel. "Interesting plan, Alex. But the deeds? They flipped 4 years ago." The room froze. Mom gasped. Aunt Lorraine's rings clinked as she gripped the table. "What?" Alex barked. Ellis opened his briefcase. "William transferred everything to Emily in early 2021, precancer progression. Fully competent. Medical evals. Witnesses. Video logs. All filed with the county." Alex's face drained of color. "Impossible. I've been handling repairs. Submitting bills." Ellis's smile was thin. Those bills. The $15,000 plumbing overhaul on the Belltown complex? Company denies it. The $10,000 electrical in Queen Anne? Firm shuttered in 2018. The air thickened with accusation. Over 4 years, Alex had faked $192,000 in claims, siphoning what he thought was his due. Mom turned to me, eyes wide. "Emily, say something." I met Alex's glare, the one that finally saw me as a threat. "You knew," he hissed. The whole time, calm washed over me. Grandpa trusted me because I showed up for him. For the tenants. Not for the payout. I pushed my own binder forward. Receipts. Photos. Ledgers of real work I'd funded from the rents. While you forged papers. I fixed roofs. Waived late fees for families hit by layoffs. That's management. The room erupted. Mom accused me of manipulation. Aunt Lorraine of greed. Alex quit his job post-funeral. Betting on the windfall. You scheming, he started. But Alice interjected, fraud like this? Felony territory. I've notified the DA. Detectives arrived, Sarah Patel and Miguel Ramirez. Names echoing Grandpa's tenants. They escorted Alex out for questioning. Elena trailing in hysterics. The silence after was suffocating. Mom sobbed. How could you destroy us? I stood. Voice steady. He tried to steal what wasn't his. Fabricated lies while I grieved alone. Aunt Lorraine begged for a cut. I walked out. Folders in hand. The fallout scorched earth. Alex charged with fraud. His career torched. Elena bolting with half their assets. Mom's calls ranged from fury to pleas. I let them ring until I confronted her. You enabled him. Diminished me. Want back in? Earn it with honesty. She showed up eventually. Broken. At one of my properties, a revamped community space in the complexes. We rebuilt. Tentative Tuesdays over coffee. Facing the wreckage of favoritism. Alex served 20 months. Emerged bitter. Begging loans I ignored. The empire grew under me, more units. Tenant programs. A partnership in a firm valuing people over profits. Grandpa's grave, here's my updates. Wind whispering approval. Betrayal's price? Isolation. But freedom. Silence wasn't weakness, it was the sharpest blade.